Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Aini binti Khairil Huzai. My metric number 1241921. I want to introduce about the book entitled Interfaith, Education for All, Theoretical Perspective and Best Practices for Transformative Action. This book was edited by Duncan R. Wilson and Ina Tel Aries and was published by Science Publishers in Rotterdam, Boston and Taipei in 2017. The book consists of one volume with a total of 292 pages and contains 20 chapters. This book discusses the concept of interfaith education and explains how education can promote understanding, respect, and peaceful relationships among people from different religious and cultural backgrounds. It is divided into three main sections, which include theoretical perspective, best practices, and reflections with recommendations for educational transformations.
My name is Ainin Sofia binti MI9. My metric number is 1241890. These are the 10 items that we gain from this book. Point number 1 is interfaith education promotes respect among different religions. It teaches students to appreciate people from other faiths without fear or prejudice. This book shows that respect is the foundation for peaceful coexistence in diverse societies. Through learning, students can value differences and build better relationships with others. Point number 2 is dialogue builds trust and peace. This book emphasizes dialogue as a way to reduce misunderstanding and conflict. When people talk openly and listen sincerely, trust can grow. This is important in interfaith education because peaceful communication helps different groups live together harmoniously. Number 3 is critical thinking and openness are important. This book shows that students should not accept ideas blindly. They need to ask questions, reflect carefully, and stay open to other perspectives. This helps them develop wisdom, maturity, and the ability to respect both their own beliefs and others.
Point number 4, religious literacy reduces prejudice. This book also suggests that people often fear what they do not understand. Learning about religions helps to correct stereotypes and reduce unfair assumptions. Religious literacy allows them to see others more accurately and respectfully, which is essential for peace. Interfaith learning supports global citizenship. This book presents interfaith education as part of preparing students for life in a connected world. It helps them think beyond personal or religious boundaries and care for the wider community. This builds responsibility citizens who value peace, justice, and cooperation.
Number 6, interfaith education is not only about tolerance but about interdependence. The book argues that tolerance alone is too limited because it can still keep people separated, while interfaith education encourages genuine encounter, mutual learning, and shared responsibility. Undoubtedly, this means education should move beyond passive coexistence and aim at relational understanding, where students learn to see difference as part of social connectedness rather than as Number 7, education should help students form identity through dialogue with others. This book emphasizes that learners should develop their own religious, secular, or worldview identity while also engaging respectfully with people who think differently. Obviously, this supports the idea that identity formation is not isolated or fixed. Instead, it grows through reflection, comparison, and interaction within a diverse social environment. Interfaith education should be linked to citizenship and human rights education. A major point in this book is that schools should not treat religious diversity as a separate issue, but connect it with democratic citizenship, human rights, and participation in public life. This is absolutely important because it frames interfaith learning as a civic competence. Students are not only learning about beliefs but also learning how to live responsibly in a democratic and plural
The
society.
book argues that true interfaith learning goes beyond just memorizing facts about different religions. Instead, it adopts a critical pedagogical approach, and this means that students are encouraged to think critically about what they learn, challenge their own assumptions and existing stereotypes, examine power relations to understand how prejudice is formed. Ultimately, this shifts interfaith education from being a simple, descriptive subject to a transformative experience. By using guided reflection and open dialogue, the goal is to reshape attitudes and foster a much deeper, more authentic understanding of what emphasizes that the teacher's role is central, acting not just as an instructor, but as a reflective mediator of diversity. To be truly successful, interfaith education relies on educators who reflect deeply on their own beliefs and teaching methods, create a safe, neutral space where students feel comfortable to discuss challenging topics, move beyond subject knowledge by practicing self-awareness and ethical responsibility, skillfully manage dialogue to ensure that all classroom conversations foster both learning and mutual respect. Essentially, the teacher is the bridge that turns a diverse classroom into a respectful community of inquiry. To understand the interfaith pedagogical framework presented in this work, we look at the hikmah versus wisdom model, which is a key methodology feature in the book. The hikmah pedagogy detailed by Suhaila Hussein, Rosani Hashim, and Nazatul Akmal Muhammad Mukhtar are philosophical inquiry-based method. It's designed to move students beyond rote memorization to foster critical thinking, open-mindedness, and respect for diverse religious perspectives in the classroom. The process, it encourages students to engage in a community of inquiry, where they explore universal values such as justice, peace, and moral responsibility as a common ground across different faith traditions. The goal, by using this pedagogical tool, educators help students develop the cognitive and social skills necessary to function as global citizens who see religious diversity as a resource for community building rather than a barrier.
Comment and opinion about this book. I believe this book provides valuable insight into the importance of religious literacy and interfaith education. It shows that education is not only about academic achievement, but also about developing respectful, informed, and compassionate individuals. The lesson presented in this book can help create a more inclusive society where diversity is appreciated rather than feared. This book is a useful resource for educators, students, and anyone interested in promoting understanding and unity in a multicultural world. For the conclusion, this book gives a deeper understanding of how education can promote respect, dialogue, and peaceful coexistence among people from different religious and cultural backgrounds. Through the ideas and examples presented, we learn that interfaith education is not only about understanding the different religions, but also about developing critical thinking, open-mindedness, and global citizenship. Overall, this book shows that education plays an important role in reducing prejudice and creating a more inclusive and harmonious society.